A quiet night on an empty road turns deadly. A man's car is suddenly rear-ended by a stranger. He steps out to take photos for insurance, but instead of exchanging details, the stranger pulls out a knife. The man is stabbed multiple times and left to die on the cold pavement. Detective Jung Tae-suk arrives at the crime scene. He carefully studies the body and the tire marks. The victim was stabbed repeatedly, deep and precise wounds. Tae-suk notices clear signs that the car was rear-ended before the attack, meaning there was another vehicle involved that escaped the scene. He connects the stab patterns to 4 previous unsolved murders. Same depth, same angle, same brutality. To him, this is clearly the work of a serial killer. But his superior dismisses his theory and refuses to open a major investigation. At the same time, Tae-suk is investigating a powerful crime boss named Jang Dong-soo. Dong-soo has bribed higher-ranking officers, which makes Tae-suk even more frustrated, ignoring orders. He continues raiding Dong-soo's businesses, determined to bring him down someday. Meanwhile, Dong-soo is leaving a tense meeting with his rival gang leader Hyo Sang-do. They argue over territory division. Sang-do is unhappy being limited to arcades and slot businesses. Dong-soo tells him to be satisfied with what he has. The tension between them grows. On his way home, Dong-soo's car is suddenly rear-ended. The same method used in the previous murders. The driver steps out and attacks him with a knife, but Dong-soo is not an ordinary victim. He is massive, powerful, and fights back fiercely. The two men struggle in the dark street. Both are stabbed during the brutal fight. Dong-soo even manages to stab the attacker with his own knife. But the killer escapes by hitting Dong-soo with his car and speeding away. Dong-soo survives and is rushed to the hospital. His men immediately assume the attack was ordered by Sang-do. Without confirmation, they retaliate violently against Sang-do's gang. Elsewhere, the killer calmly stitches his own wounds inside his car, as if nothing happened. Soon after, he kills a guard at a dog pound. Continuing his pattern of random violence, Tae-suk visits Dong-soo in the hospital. He believes Dong-soo was attacked by the same serial killer. He asks for cooperation, but Dong-soo refuses. Tae-suk inspects Dong-soo's damaged car, again confirming it was rear-ended just like the other victims. Now he is certain the serial killer has attacked a gangster by accident. Dong-soo also realizes the attacker did not act like a rival gang member. The movements were random, without motive. He orders his men to find the attacker using a sketch. They locate the abandoned car and discover a knife nearby, the same knife used in another recent murder. The killer had dropped it and switched to driving a garbage truck, trying to disappear. Eventually, Dong-soo meets Tae-suk again. They both understand the same predator is hunting civilians and criminals alike. They agree to form a temporary alliance. Dong-soo wants revenge because being attacked has damaged his reputation. A crime boss who survives an assassination attempt looks weak. Tae-suk wants to arrest the killer to close 5 connected murder cases and earn a promotion. They agree whoever finds the killer first will claim him. Dong-soo secretly orders his right-hand man Kwon-oh-sung to kill rival Sang-do, using the serial killer's knife covered with previous victims' blood. The murder is staged to look like another serial killing. When Tae-suk discovers this, he explodes in anger. Now the serial killer case is officially transferred to the major case squad, making Tae-suk lose control of the investigation. At Sang-do's funeral, the real killer appears quietly. He tells Sang-do's right hand that Dong-soo killed his boss using the knife, sparking more conflict between the gangs. Later, Tae-suk and Dong-soo search the killer's abandoned car for evidence, but Sang-do's men ambush them. A violent fight breaks out. Sang-do's right hand is killed. Dong-soo cleans up the scene and buries the body. Meanwhile, Tae-suk is assigned to a kidnapping case. The serial killer has murdered a man and is pretending he kidnapped him. Trying to extort money from the victim's wife, Tae-suk sets up a trap at the money drop location. During the operation, he finally sees the killer's face clearly. A chase begins through the streets, but once again, the killer escapes. Forensic analysis reveals the suspect is actually a missing person named Kong Kyung-ho, a man reported missing long ago. A voice recording confirms his identity. Now they finally have a name. One rainy night, Dong-soo gives his umbrella to a young girl walking alone. Later, he learns she was murdered, and his umbrella was found at the crime scene. The killer had crossed his path again. Enraged, they track the killer to his car. Another intense chase begins. This time, Dong-soo captures him and beats him brutally. But during the chaos, the killer fatally stabs Usong. Dong-soo drags the killer away, intending to execute him himself. Before he can finish it, Tae-suk crashes his car into Dong-soo, stopping him and arresting Kong Kyung-ho. In court, there is little physical evidence, but Dong-soo testifies as the surviving victim of the attack. He accurately describes a stab wound on Kyung-ho's body inflicted during their first fight. He also plants misleading evidence tying Kyung-ho to Sang-do's murder. The court sentences Kong Kyung-ho to death. Dong-soo is arrested for his criminal activities. Tae-suk finally earns his long-awaited promotion, but Dong-soo has one final request before going to prison. He asks to be transferred to the same prison as Kyung. Inside the prison showers, Kyung-ho stands alone. The water running over him, suddenly the tap is turned off. Dong-soo steps forward slowly with a rope in his hands, smiling quietly as he approaches. The devil thought he survived, but some monsters are patient.